Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. I'm Kalikaiz and today it's Basking Rootwalla's time to shine. We are playing Gruul Madness. This is a list that 5-0'd from Sodeq or Sodeq, I'm not sure. They are from Poland and they're a Pauper and Magic grinder. I don't think they play quite as much Pauper, but they were playing Secret Skybreak combo with the Gruul shell. And when Skybreak was banned, they've translated it into a Gruul Madness aggro deck. So this deck works on a bunch of looting effects like Faithless looting, Bitter Reunion, Melded, Moxite. You can pitch things like Fiery Temper or Basking Rootwalla, get value out of the Sneaky Snacker. When you Malevolent Rumble, you can pick up your card draw spells like Moxite and Bitter Reunion, and then you can put Faithless lootings to the graveyard and make it all come together by unearthing a Scourge Devil, which when it unearths for 2 and a red, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. So you have a way to go wide with things like Writhing Chrysalis and Rumble and then make those into real legitimate threats. We have a Singleton Avenging Hunter in the main, Singleton in the sideboard. I imagine this is good versus like removal-based strategies that don't have a lot of threats. And then the sideboard is filled up with things like Pyroblast, which makes sense. There's 2 Lava Darts here, which I'm not sure exactly why. I think this might have been a holdover. Breath Weapon, that makes sense. Another Avenging Hunter, some Ancient Grudges, and another Safekeeping, or a single Safekeeping. So Safekeeping, I think, also was a holdover from the original deck. I don't know if we necessarily are wanting to bring that in. But you know what? We're not going to make changes. We're going to run it as is because this is the listed 5-0'd, and I will see you in the matches. This video is brought to you by Card Market, Europe's largest TCG marketplace. Unplugged Gaming in Manlius, New York is having their first ever Pauper 1K. This is a $30 entry that starts at 1 p.m. on August 15th. 70% of the entries will go straight to prizes up to a 64-player cap. Just outside of Syracuse, New York, this event is going to be sweet. This is round 1 versus Panda Puppy. We're on the draw. I think this is keepable. It's not doing too much right away. Island from the opponent, preordained, so it's either a control deck or maybe Mono Blue Terror. Writhing Chrysalis would be good there. We find a forest. We'll play the landscape and pass the turn. We have no way to cycle these landscapes, so I think it's better for us to just fetch immediately and try to get value. We'll fetch. We'll grab a forest. And then we can Melded Moxite. I assume it's counterspelled, but if it's not, we drew a looting, which is a great discard. They play Negate, so this seems to be Familiars then would be my guess. Preordain versus Familiars. I think we are a dog in game 1, but we have Pyroblast or post board. Let's try another Melded Moxite. We'll discard the Faithless looting. We drew the Rootwalla. Can't actually make that happen this turn. I'll play Landscape. I will pass. They play a Seagate Oracle. Makes sense. We're going to fetch. They don't have a white source yet. It is Familiars like I imagined. Let's see, we have red, green, red. So I guess we want green. We'll play land and get that Chrysalis on the table. I wonder if I want a Faithless looting and discard the Rootwalla. Opponent goes Lorien Revealed. That would make Faithless looting kind of a card draw spell. They didn't fetch a white source again. They go Arcane Answer for what? Negate? For the Lorien. I'm a little bit surprised. We find another Chrysalis. Let's play Mountain. We'll play Writhing Chrysalis. Get a bunch of spawns. We kind of want to maintain these spawns in play in case I find my card that I can unearth. We'll Bitter Reunion. Discard our little lizard boy. We have even more Chrysalises. Rootwalla on the table. Now, I guess I could crack a spawn and Bitter Reunion, but I think next turn is better if I want to be doing that. And I have a lot of huge beaters. Okay, let's see if they play the Lorien or do nothing. Okay, they've got a Chancery. That means that Snap now kind of works out for them. They can block and then play the Mortuary Mire on the following turn and try to get their creature back. They can snap a creature. Snapping a Writhing Chrysalis isn't great. We don't want to F6. All right, they snap a Chrysalis. I feel like maybe that's not what I would be doing. My Chrysalises are going to be huge. They Ephemerate. I assume they get back the snap and snap another Chrysalis. Okay. Chrysalis back to hand. So if I want to play all 3 Chrysalis, I have to use the spawns. They evoke a Mole Drifter. So they must have a Flicker too. wonder if we can't threaten lethal just yet, huh? Drifter goes to the graveyard. We find a Avenging Hunter. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 Writhing Chrysalis. Get the spawns back. They have a counter spell. 1, 2, 3, 4 Writhing Chrysalis. 2, 3. I think I'm going to play another Writhing Chrysalis, and then I'm going to sacrifice and activate my Bitter Reunion. I'm going to slap in. They can spend time snapping my creatures again, but then I might be able to get the Avenging Hunter down. I guess the problem with me letting them have the not play my Avenging Hunter this turn was that they can just get back the Glorious Gale, which is remove soul when it returns the Ephemerate. They can only return 1 snap here. They're going to go Drifter and then Ephemerate the Drifter, huh? All right. Ephemerate resolves. Plays another land. No attacks. Well, we have a Malevolent Rumble. That makes my creatures bigger. I'm going to start with the Rumble. Going to take the Rootwalla. Then we're going to Moxite. Crack a Spawn. Chrysalis. We'll play the Moxite. We'll discard the Rootwalla. Snacker's going to return. Cast it. 1, 2, 3. I can rumble into, let's go Malevolent. Go Malevolent Rumble. I'll take the Bitter Reunion. And then I'm going to pay 5 mana and slap down an Avenging Hunter, which all of these things together are adding up to quite a bit. Avenging Hunter resolves. We get the initiative. We'll get a forest. And then I have a bunch of threats coming in. A 9/10 that has to be blocked. I have a 7/8. They probably want to block that too. They're blocking with both of their creatures. They must have Flicker then. That's pretty solid for them. Upkeep. I have an Ephemerate. The Ephemerate will return an Ephemerate. Packs in with the Drifter. They'll take the initiative. Grabbing an island. Has a familiar now. So it's close to over for us, unfortunately. I mean, we were pretty close to getting there. They found a lot of good cards in their top half of their deck. The Flicker and everything. They will Ephemerate. Returning Snap. Snapping I don't know what. Snaps a Rootwalla? I don't know about that. That's cool. They're going to Flicker to draw cards. Returns the Flicker. They have 5 islands in play. Why would you snap the Rootwalla? Another Flicker. They still have 3 mana left. One thing they could do is Flicker and then get back a Snap. Moving slowly over there. Maybe they're experiencing some lag. What's next? Snap Sneaky Snacker. What? Plays God Pharaoh's Faithful. They're close to having infinite life. They play a Seagate Oracle. They still have the Flicker. They cast a Preordain, so now they don't have Flicker available. They're going to have to block with something. They go to cleanup. Okay, so we found Lightning Bolt. We're going to start with Bitter Reunion. Discard the Rootwalla. We'll cast it. We'll go Malevolent Rumble. They choose to negate. Okay. What's my plan here? I guess we just loot away the snackers. Then we'll get in with the team. I guess it's worth noting they do have the Mortuary Mire in play, so they're going to be able to get back most of their stuff anyway. They're taking 5 damage. They lose 2 creatures. We take the initiative. I wonder if I should just bolt the Mole Drifter. We'll forge onto, I guess, the Avenging Hunter. If I bolt the Mole Drifter, they can't take the initiative back, and then they're going to take 7. But they can get it back pretty easily. I guess I'm going to Lightning Bolt the Mole Drifter. I don't really have any good options here. I could Lightning Bolt the Familiar. And then they have Ephemerate and Flicker. They're going to get back the initiative. Going to take out the, I guess, the Archaeomancer. And then they cast a Meeting of Minds. Opponent flickers their they Ephemerate the Mole Drifter. And then they have shown me that they have double Familiar. They have the Flicker. And they have the Archaeomancer. All right, infinite life. So, Pyroblast, Avenging Hunter. That means that the Lightning Bolts, I suppose, can come out. Maybe we want as much removal as possible. We probably don't need this Scourge Devil plan. I really like the call damage control, but I'm not sure how it's going to help me that much. I could also just cut the Malevolent Rumbles. I'm going to try cutting the Rumbles. The Rumbles, I think, ended up costing me quite a bit. So I will bring back in the Scourge Devils. That's pretty expensive. Excuse me, it's pretty expensive if I hard cast it, but I have a lot of card draw. Okay, we'll just bring one in. Oh man, this hand is not very good. Mulligan? Nope. This would be great with the looting, I suppose. We're gonna put back our Writhing Chrysalis, and I suppose the Bitter Reunion. Play the landscape. We'll fetch a mountain. We'll just send it over. Put in cycles. They're probably going to get there. And there's grab an island. Okay. We find a highland forest. I'm off to the races, kind of. I have an Epicure in play. We find a Writhing Chrysalis. I'm going to Moxite and pitch the looting. Do not find a land. Familiar for the opponent. Plays beachfront. Okay. So I definitely bolt the familiar. I'm going to play an Epicure. Land. Get in for one. They have 4 men in play. Plays Archaeomancer to pick up Lorien Revealed. We have a Faithless looting. We'll discard the Sneaky Snacker. And then I will... So if I Faithless looting, I can convert the Rootwalla into 1 card. If I just blood token the Rootwalla, I have a fresh draw. I think I'm going to cast the Faithless looting because I really need to hit a land drop. Discard Rootwalla, discard the Bitter Reunion. And then we will cast our little lizard guy. Play a mountain. And pass, unfortunately. Opponent plays a Faithful. Chancery picking up a regular island, holding open a Glorious Gale. We find a mountain. We're going to attack in. I can pump the Rootwalla if they block with the Archaeomancer. They choose not to block with the Archaeomancer. That's smart. I will attempt the Writhing Chrysalis. Well, let's see if you have your Glorious Gale. They don't have it. I'm going to play this mountain and pass the turn. And then I will crack the Moxite for a 2/2 robot. They play Lorien Revealed. I believe they tapped out for that. No, maybe not. Maybe they have island. Okay. We're going to crack, and crack. Give me my robot. Opponent discards island to hand size. We're going to attempt a Faithless looting. Discard Rootwalla. Discard mountain. We'll play the Rootwalla. And then I will attack. I think it's worth sacrificing an Epicure here. If they block the Rootwalla, I can pump up my creature. Okay. They'll take a bunch of damage. I've got my lightning bolts sitting around. They're currently at 6 life. Plays another Faithful and a land. For 3 mana, plays a Seagate Oracle. They'll gain 2 life. Alright, my turn. Bitter Reunion. Can't use that right now. We'll attack with everything that's not the Epicure. Okay. They're planning on taking 6, except they block on the Writhing Chrysalis. This means they probably have a Flicker. Not a Flicker. It's a Meeting of Minds. Okay. And here's the Ghostly Flicker. I'm going to kill their Anarchomancer. Okay. Maybe I can find something if I loot again. We'll try another Faithless looting. Okay, discarding 2 lands. Send it over. Opponent has Stonehorn Dignitary. Plays a Contaminated Landscape, 6 cards in hand. This is very, very, very brutal for me. Murmuring Mystic. I don't think I can win. There's maybe a chance. Let's Bitter Reunion. Oh, I should just play the Scourge Devil. We can discard the Scourge Devil. I can't actually kill the... I can't attack this turn because of the Stonehorn. We're going to discard the Faithless looting. And Pyroblast, destroying the Murmuring Mystic. One of Preordains. Plays a Seagate Oracle. They're going to evoke a Mulldrifter. Go to 18 life. If you're interested in tips and tricks on playing faster on Magic Online, I do have a short called Never Time Out on Magic Online that would help you to be ahead on the clock like I am. All right, we're most likely losing, so we're just kind of sticking around to see how things are going. We have Sneaky Snacker. Let's discard Sneaky Snacker. Finding Highland Forest. Play this Writhing Chrysalis. And then I'm going to sacrifice a spawn. Give my Chrysalis haste. And attack in with the creatures that can fight through. Okay, they sacrificed their 2 Seagate Oracles. They've got a familiar now. Lorien Revealed. Plays Island. Another Stonehorn. About ready to pick it up. They choose to attack with the Stonehorn. They're just flexing. 1, 2, 3. We're going to Faithless looting. Discard Fiery Temper, Highland Forest. Fiery Temper will pop the familiar. Think I just have to pass. Preordain. Ephemerate on the Stonehorn. They play Chancery, picking up Island. We have an Avenging Hunter. Let's see if that will resolve. Resolves. So I'm going to grab Mountain. Because I don't really want the Mountain. So we'll go red, green, or red and a spawn. And then Melded Moxite, trying to discard the Mountain. Just going wider and wider as I can when it has a counterspell. Sure. They killed my Avenging Hunter with a 3 of a charm. Alright, I think I'm out of here, but anyway, that's okay. We are down game 1, or round 1, we're on to round 2. Round 2, let's see if we can take a win. Thanks for watching. Did you know you could get sideboard guides on patreon.com/Kalikaiz? And did I mention you can get early access to videos on the YouTube page in the membership section? And if you like these videos, make sure to like and subscribe. We have some solid plays, right? Let's keep. We'll land Epicure, and then turn 2, we can discard Fire Temper to kill something using the Twisted Landscape. We can Melded Moxite on a future turn. I like it. Land Epicure and send it over. When it's already at 19, we're winning the race. Forest. Cerulean Caretaker. Okay, so I can either just, and they play a land grant, revealing Vandal, Caretaker, Winding Way, Queering Ranger, Forest. Well. We have the Sneaky Snacker. I'm going to landscape. I think I'm just going to fetch. Actually, I probably want to loot. We'll discard this Fire Temper. We will blast the Caretaker. We draw an Avenging Hunter. We get in for 1. Worth noting that if you crack the landscape, you can then call damage control to get back the landscape. So maybe that was a better option. They play Elves of Deep Shadow and a Queering Ranger. Or no, a Caretaker. So which one would I rather kill? Probably the Elf. Tough situation. I'm going to Melded Moxite and discard the Snacker. We drew a land, sick. We will bolt the Caretaker. Attempt to attack in for 1. I feel like I'm pretty cold to this deck because I don't have enough removal. They play the Queering Ranger out. Goes Winding Way. Revealing a Gate Creeper Vine. Dread Return goes to the graveyard. They're close to just winning the game. They untap their elf, so they have 2 more mana. Then they can Gate Creeper Vine for the swamp. Next turn, cycle for a forest and play Spy. Deck's not lining up too well. We need Pillypalla in it. Gate Creeper Vine. They grab a swamp. Okay, we have a Faithless Looting. Let's see where we get with that. Discard land, discard looting. We could also discard the Avenging Hunter. And then fetch, and then get back land Avenging Hunter. Maybe that makes sense. Discard Avenging Hunter. Play land. Call damage control. Creature and a land. Then we will fetch out a mountain. Attack. I'm most likely dead. That was a fancy play. Still not going to live through it. They cycle Generous Ent. 4 lands out of their deck. If they're playing 4 land Spy, this is the turn that they could just Spy me. They make 3 mana, and then they untap, and then Spy. Is it worth looking at their deck? It's tilting. I don't really want to just dig through it. Let's see. Nyxborn in the main deck. Rebel Belt Maverick. Sure. They win the game. What are we supposed to do here? Well, I guess we bring in Avenging Hunter. Cutting the call damage control. I don't think Weather the Storm's going to do anything. Maybe we just bring in a Breath Weapon. A couple of Breath Weapons. I don't know if Avenging Hunter is going to accomplish anything. So maybe we just bring in the Lava Darts. Cut the Scourge Devil. No, we want the Scourge Devil. Alright. Oh, Lava Dart's neat because if you mill it over with a Rumble, you can still use it. Okay, I see the vision. Okay. We'll keep. So this Faithless Looting, the first one, can pitch another, or Lava Dart and Scourge Devil, no big deal. And then hopefully I find lands. Land, looting. Can we find Double Snacker? We're pitching Scourge Devil, Lava Dart. Pass. Opponent land grants. They've got a bunch of life gainy stuff. It's Forest. B2 Ghazi Inspector is a life gain creature. Also has Reach. Just Forest. Okay. We have Mountain. We're going to Bitter Reunion and discard the Faithless Looting. Finding a Rootwalla. They cycle the Generous Ent. Place out a Battlement. I can sacrifice my land to take out the Battlement here. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Probably not. Play Epicure. We'll discard the Rootwalla. The value. And then we have Sneaky Snacker. So I'll pass the turn. Next turn I attack in, they block with the Battlement. I Faithless Looting, discarding Sneaky Snacker, Fiery Temper, kill the Battlement. Play out a Sagu Wildling. Roost Seeking, looking for a land. Gets the Swamp. 3 mana. Plays Lead the Stampede. So they're digging for Spy now, huh? Finds a bunch of mana with Wall of Roots and Battlement. We have a Highland Forest. I'm going to, I guess I can just Chrysalis and then give my creatures haste. Seems like a good time for that. We'll attack in. Opponent can play Wall of Roots, making play Wall of Roots into battlement, then they'll have 3 mana with the battlement that's currently in play that's only tapping for 1 right now. Okay, they have a Gate Creeper Vine first. Wall of Roots. They have 3 mana, 4 mana if they use the Wall of Roots. Plays a battlement. And then plays out V2 Gaussian Spectre, making their battlement bigger. We don't really have any options here. I'm super dead. I'm going to Bitter Reunion. Discard the Sneaky Snacker. I'm sort of working up to the Scourge Devil, huh? Snacker's going to go to the graveyard. Find another Snacker. I could Looting. This is like poor. We're going to Looting from the graveyard. Discard Snacker and the Highland Forest or the Rumble. I guess it's the Highland Forest. Attack in. No point. All right. I think I'm going to lose here. I'm hoping my opponent just seals the deal, plays the Spy. I can move on. This deck is feeling a little clunky. No Spy yet. They have Dread Return, Land Grant. Goes to graveyard. Saga Wildling. Plays a Winding Way. Still no Spy. What if they sided it out and they just go like big creature beatdown? That is certainly a plan they could do. They left in the Dread Returns though. Sagu hits the table. You know what? I've seen enough. They got me fair and square. Let's see if we can take a round 3. Round 3, reverse a Drowo. They've been playing Madness Burn previously. This hand would be solid with a red source. Let's mulligan. Okay, I guess we're keeping. And then I can play Epicure and then put the Rootwalla in play on turn 2. So I can keep the extra land or the extra Epicure. I think I keep the extra land so I can move towards the Writhing Chrysalis. Let's lead on the Highland Forest. They play out a Swamp. Swamp. I don't know what that means. We have Melded Moxite. I think I just Epicure and pass. If they're playing Spy, I'll be so sad. No, they cycle a Troll of Khazad-dûm. They find another Swamp. Okay, not Spy necessarily. They go Kumbaj Witches. We're going to discard this Basking Rootwalla and cast it. Aha! The value. We'll play Bitter Reunion. Discarding Melded Moxite. Play land. Unfortunately, my Rootwalla or my Epicure are going to die. My opponent's playing Mono Black Control, which is funny. Happy for them. Opponent will ping the Rootwalla. Okay. Rootwalla dead. They take a damage. Then they Chainer's Edict my Voltaire and Epicure. Wow. Okay. I will play a Writhing Chrysalis. They play Phyrexian Rager. They really are committed to the Mono Black Control. I'm going to start by Lightning Bolting the Kumbaj Witches. Then they'll have to target one of my spawns. They don't. Okay. I will crack. Play Writhing Chrysalis. Crack. Give my creatures haste. Attack for 8 or 7. Next turn I can Faithless Looting, discard the Scourge Devil, and then unearth it, and it's Alpha Strike. Sounds cool. I don't know if it'll work, but it does sound cool. They picked up their deck from 2017. Cast down. All right. It's dead. Cast down. It's dead. They get in for 2. We will Faithless Looting. Discard Sneaky Snacker. Discard Fiery Temper, I suppose. And then we're just going to kill your 2/2. Next turn, I'm going to Bitter Reunion, discarding the Scourge Devil. I play Chittering Rats. So mean. I'll put the Scourge Devil back on top of my deck. I probably should have put the Bitter Reunion on top in case they had a Duress. Well, Bitter Reunion. Discard the Scourge Devil. Return. My creatures return. I can Faithless Looting and discard, or I can just play Writhing Chrysalis. Here comes another Chrysalis. Call damage control would be pretty good here because I could get back like Bitter Reunion, Writhing Chrysalis. They play Chittering Rats. Aw. Bummer for me. We will Faithless Looting. Discard and discard. Rootwalla. Gets cast. I'll cast a Malevolent Rumble. Rumble time. They kill my Chrysalis. It's dead so. We'll take the Avenging Hunter. I'll attack in for 2. Next turn I can Avenging Hunter, get a forest, then give my creatures haste. I don't know if that will be that good. I can Avenging Hunter for a mountain and then cast the Looting. Also kind of medium. Okay. They're looking at doing something. Plays a Phyrexian Rager. They'll lose life and go to 7. They're paying 2 mana for Witches. Okay. And then they Witch's Cottage. which puts back, I don't know, witches? Roll of Khazad-dûm. So if they don't have Defile in hand, I think I can win. Or I can bash in with my Giant Avenging Hunter. Chooses not to attack with the Chittering Rats. Chooses to attack with Chittering Rats. Okay. We have a mountain. Play out my Avenging Hunter. I'll grab another mountain. And then I'm going to crack this Bitter Reunion and attack. The cool thing is that the Troll of Khazad-dûm they picked up can actually also pick up a Witch's Cottage. We'll deal him 1 damage plus the 3 damage from the 2 damage from the Sneaky Snacker. They play Grey Merchant. Goes to 10 life. Chooses to attack. We're going to block. We take the initiative. We'll forge onto the snack. Cast the Faithless Looting. Discard. Play Moxite. Discard. We're spending 6 mana. Nope. Thinks it through. Next, as soon as I get their next land, the Chainer's Edict can probably stop me from doing what I want to do. If they can't gain life, I can unearth the Scourge Devil and get in for 5 with the Sneaky Snacker plus 5 from the trap. Okay, they choose to target themselves with a draw 2, Sign in Blood. They play a land. That means they have 1 unknown. If they attack with Chittering Rats and Witches, then I have to block. I maybe block the Grey Merchant. They just concede. Well, we are good enough to beat Mono Black Control. I like it. There's nothing going on there that's out of ordinary. We'll bring in the 2 Breath Weapons. I think the Avenging Hunter can come in. Malevolent Rumbles are probably a little bit of a liability. Maybe bring in a Safekeeping. All right. I think I will keep this. And we have Fiery Temper plus... We have Faithless Looting discarding Fiery Temper Snacker. So I think what I want to do is fetch a mountain with this landscape. And then kill their creature on turn 2 while putting Snacker in the graveyard. Find a Writhing Chrysalis. Not great. I'm going to need some mana. They play a swamp. Okay, I will fetch, grab a mountain, play land, Faithless Looting, discard Snacker, discard Scourge Devil, play out Voldaren Epicure. I can kill their first creature with my discard and play Fiery Temper. They play Phyrexian Rager. I'll discard Fiery Temper and pop it, play Landscape, get in for 1. When in Sign in Bloods themselves, they're down to 15. Plays a land. I'll fetch a forest. Untap. Land. Chrysalis. We'll get in for 1. They cast down the Chrysalis. We still have this Scourge Devil in the graveyard, so we might be looking at an Alpha Strike. Play Nihil Spellbomb. You probably want to crack that right away. They do. No Alpha Strike for me. Plays a land. Plays a Chittering Rats. With Safekeeping on the top. We're going to bolt the Chittering Rats. And then play Writhing Chrysalis. Get in for 1. Okay, they Sign in Blood themselves to 10. Plays a land. We may have Defile on the Chrysalis. If I untap, I can start keeping it safe with my Safekeeping. Defile. It's dead. I'm dealing 1 damage a turn. Anything? Anything? Ooh, Call Damage Control. Just gets back 1 creature. I don't know if that's great. I'll attack in for 1. I'm going to wait to Call Damage Control until I can maybe get back something of more value, like get a 2-for-1 out of it. When it plays a Troll of Khazad-dûm. And then Witch's Cottage on, I guess, the Phyrexian Rager. Chittering Rats. They think that my hand will not be good. They rats me again. And they are right. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm the one that's scooping. We're going to go back to the Rumble plan, but they did have Graveyard Hate. Maybe the Breath Weapons just aren't that good. Rumble. Our deck basically didn't do anything. I'm going to cut the Scourge Devils. It seems like the weakest card. All right, where are we? This is okay. We have a creature, we can Fiery Temper. Hopefully we can work up to this Avenging Hunter. Epicure on turn 1. Send it over. I believe the original deck designer was playing Snow-Covered Mountains because they were playing Screds in the sideboard or in the main deck. We have a Safekeeping. Play a land. I'll get in with my Epicure. They cycle a Troll. Regular Swamp. Plays Kumbaj Witches. Okay. We'll discard the Fiery Temper and go after the Witches. We draw nothing really. Let's Faithless Looting. Discard Snacker. Another Faithless Looting. Discard Faithless Looting and this Safekeeping. Play land. Get in for 1. They have the Spellbomb. Okay. Malevolent Rumble. We will take the Highland Forest. Play the Highland Forest. Get in for 1. Next turn, we get to put the Avenging Hunter on the table. We have call damage control to get back land creature. They play the witches out. Land. If I pay 2 mana, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll have 1, 2. I won't have enough. I play the Avenging Hunter and grab Mountain. They have a Defile. That doesn't kill it. Second Defile does kill it. They don't attack. I guess I will Lost Well, Fiery Temper, and Melded Moxite. So I think both of these are good. Top. We'll draw the Moxite, and then we're going to go Chrysalis. Play the Writhing Chrysalis. Then we'll call damage control. Get back creature and land. Get back the Avenging Hunter and the landscape. Where they ping the Epic here. They'll take a damage. They get a 15. Sign and Blood themselves to 13. They're passing. They finally found their third land on turn 6. So I think we want to go into... We can go into Stash or Archives. I think I want to go into Arena. Go to your Kumbhaj Witches. And then I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 Landscape. Play the Avenging Hunter. Which brings me into Archives. Draw a card. Then I'll play the Melded Moxite. I'm going to discard the Fiery Temper. Target the Kumbhaj Witches. And then they're probably going to target a spawn. They'll sacrifice whatever spawn is targeted. And then attack with my Writhing Chrysalis. They don't target a spawn. So I attack in for 3. They go to 10. Next turn I get to Throne of the Dead 3. Plays a Chittering Rats. We'll put a land back. I guess on my upkeep, well, it doesn't really matter because I'm going to go for the initiative. We will take the... Do I want a really big Sneaky Snacker or a Writhing Chrysalis that's just a little bit bigger? I guess it's the Writhing Chrysalis. It's a 5/6 hexproof. We have another Writhing Chrysalis. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Chrysalis. They can see it. Okay, we're 1 and 2. Round 4. Okay. We have a turn 2 Rumble. Opponent's playing Jeskai Ephemerate. Play our Forest out. I mean, we got creamed by familiars. I don't know how Jeskai Ephemerate's going to go. Plays out Augur of Bolas. Finding Ride's End. But Ride's End can kill one of my creatures. Exile it. We'll play Malevolent Rumble, trying to find some lands. Okay. I think I just take the Mountain. We'll send it over. Next turn, I can play the Writhing Chrysalis. They don't currently have White Source. Plays another Augur of Bolas. Guess they're digging for Alluring Revealed so they can cycle it. They whiff. My turn. We find Sneaky Snacker. We're going to go for Writhing Chrysalis. And then on the following turn, I think I'm going to Malevolent Rumble, which can maybe find me... The Ash Barons are going to get the Plains. 4 mana. Plays Murmuring Mystic. Alright, that's not amazing. I have to kill that thing. Bolt. We'll go Malevolent Rumble. I'll take the Melded Moxite, I think. Actually, I'll just take the Mountain. Okay. Play land. Play Faithless Looting. Discard Snacker, discard Rootwalla. Things are happening. Things are definitely happening right now. This is the way it's supposed to work. And we will bash in for 3. One plays Preordain. Are they going to Ride's End my Chrysalis? It is exiled forever. I get in. Okay. We have another Scourge Devil. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm just going to play the Scourge Devil here. Scourge Devil. And we'll attack in, which is a solid amount. They go to 10. It's like they're going to hardcast Alluring Revealed. Can I do everything I want to do? 1, 2, 3, 4. Cast Writhing Chrysalis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not really that good. Let's attack in with my creatures. See if they want to do anything about it. They are willing to chump with an Augur. They take 5 damage. Cast Preordain. We've gone really wide here with all the spawns, so I can just cast the Scourge Devil, and then they can counter it, and then I just unearth it. Plays a Preordain. They don't have a counter. They're under the gun. I'm very surprised. They went bottom. They cycle Alluring Revealed. Now they have Counterspell available. Volatile Fjord. Not even Counterspell. So what are they holding on to? Some sort of fog? Okay, we're going to Melded Moxite. They just lose. Wow. Avenging Hunter is definitely coming in. Pyroblasts. The Scourge Devil was surprisingly good there, huh? Surprisingly good. I don't know if I can make 5 cuts, though. Do I just get rid of Rumbles? I feel like the Rumbles are very important in the deck. I'm going to cut Bolts and the Scourge Devils, even though that did win me the game. because the Pyroblasts are better at removing blue spells. I'm going to try to grind a little bit. Don't think that the Rumbles are going to be cuttable here. Okay, we have a turn 3 Chrysalis again. I'll keep. Opponent has kept 6. Mountain, your turn. They've got a turn 2 Augur Bolus. Finding Union of the Third Path, a life gain spell. We've lined up another Chrysalis. We're going to take this Bitter Reunion. Snacker going to the graveyard. That's the turn. They preordain. Plays out an island. Holding up counterspell here. Well, I have a Pyroblast. So I think I'm going to Bitter Reunion. Yep, we're going to counter your counter. Nice. Discard the Faithless Looting. Return Sneaky Snack. That's the turn. They pay 4 mana to get an Archaeomancer back into hand. I mean, a counterspell back into hand with the Archaeomancer. We'll go land. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cast Writhing Chrysalis. This is hilarious. Okay, and then we will just... nice. Cast Bitter Reunion. Discard Sneaky Snacker. Snacker's on the table. Bash in for 2. Okay. They're chilling. I'm chilling. Land. Let's play Voldaren Epicure. Attack in. They're going to block. Do they have a flicker effect? They don't. Okay. So the reason that I did not play the Chrysalis this turn is because I want to be able to multi-Chrysalis. You play the Union, going up to 17. Augur of Bolus. All right. It whiffs. Very nice. There are 3 cards in hand. They do have counterspell. They find a Basking Rootwalla. Well, let's play Writhing Chrysalis. They might spread this Chrysalis here. Play another one. They're going to counterspell. Yep, fair. We get the spawn tokens. Crack. Crack. Green, red. Play a Writhing Chrysalis. Okay. And then I will sacrifice. Discard Rootwalla. Madness cost. Nice. We'll cast a 1/1 for 0. We find a mountain. The mountain. Crack the Bitter Reunion. I'll attack. They block. So, alright, they'll take 7 damage going to 10. Spends 5 mana to Lorien Revealed. I think I can just go a Scred, the smaller one. Okay. But I can just call damage control, getting back Chrysalis, Bitter Reunion. Call the damage control, but not for me. Chrysalis, Bitter Reunion. Sweet. That was awesome. I'm glad we're still playing. We're 2-2. Round 5. Looking for that 3-2. The Heroes Trophy. I think this is fine. We can Bitter Reunion and discard the Scourge Devil. We have Lightning Bolt on turn 1 if required. Oh, we're on the play. Nice. Highland Forest. We'll start it out. Opponent plays a Mountain. Epicure. So probably Madness Burn. We have a Faithless Looting. I think I'm going to Rumble and try to find a Chrysalis. Find Moxite. I gotta have to take the Mountain. Send it over. Opponent plays a Mountain. Okay, it's Rally Burn. It's going to be harder, but maybe also easier because we can kill some of their creatures. Yikes. They're wide quick. They get in. We find Snacker. Okay, we'll land. Bitter Reunion. I'm planning to discard the Sneaky Snacker and then bolt their 2/2. Okay, nothing really going on for me. Unfortunate. They play a Mountain. Blockwork. They'll attack for 4. We kill a creature. I'm not blocking this turn. I'm saving my spawn for a potential Chrysalis. Saving it also potentially... I mean, I could play the Scourge Devil as a 3/3 blocker. I think I'm losing game 1 most of the time. And then relying on Breath Weapon, Weatherstorm post board. We have nothing. I'll play out my 3/3 for 5. Send it over. I'm definitely on the defense. They discard a Mountain. Galvanic Face. That's 2 damage. They have Reckless Impulse, which finds... Burning Tree Rally. Yikes. They're getting in. So we're just blocking as many creatures as possible. We'll take 2 damage. I'm at 6. They put me to 4. And then they've got a Fire Blast. Dead, dead, dead. So top end coming out. Breath Weapon. Lava Dart's fine, maybe? Don't know about this call damage control. I guess here we do want to cut the Malevolent Rumbles. We really need to draw our Weather Storms. Weather. So without the Rumbles, we are looking to make sure we have some sort of card draw in the main deck. That's in our opening hand, probably. All right. Man, my hand is awesome if I draw land. I'm going to keep. Famous last words. Famous last words, everybody. But we can mountain, then turn to discard Rootwalla, put another creature on the table. And then if I do draw a land, we can Beta Reunion or Moxite away the Sneaky Snacker and work up to the Writhing Chrysalis. We'll play the Epicure. They play an Epicure as well. I will discard this Basking Rootwalla and cast it. Come on, land. I did this to myself. We find a Lightning Bolt. Okay. Not the worst thing to draw, I guess. They have a Burning Tree. If I don't draw land next turn, I'm pretty toast. Another Burning Tree. Uh-oh. Into a Rally. So I guess block. I can double block, or I can block each of these. I guess I should block the 2 tokens, since up 1 Lightning Bolt can trade for that instead of trading 2 pieces of cardboard for 1. Well, Bolt. My hubris got me here, everybody. I'm sure people were like, no, don't do it. Did it anyway. They play a Clockwork. I'm going to go down to 10 life. How do I live through this? I draw a forest, I play it. I Bitter Reunion the Snacker. I untap, I go Epicure Weather. Okay. We didn't get there. Let's see what was coming up. The forest was soon to come. Then lots of lands behind it with no weathers to be seen. We were definitely losing that game regardless of what happened. I think this deck was pretty cool. We had some good times with it, but got run over a little bit too much for my taste. What do you think about Gruul Madness? I will see you in the next video.